Yeah.
All right, we just got done watching Sailor Moon Season 1, Episode 25.
Yeah.
The title of this was Jupiter Comes Thundering In. That was the North American version, actually.
Jupiter, the brawny girl in love.
Yeah, which is, again, much better title, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
whatever.
Of course, yeah.
So, new Sailor, obviously right off the bat we know it's a new Sailor because of the title.
Mm-hmm.
Sailor Jupiter, we know it's going to happen. Queen Beryl starts summoning a bigger, badder ruler, or she was trying to,
Awaken them from their infinite deep sleep.
Yeah, and then they mention the silver crystal once again, and then we find out, so there's a bit more context to what the Yumas are, and we find out about something called the rainbow crystals. So essentially, you have to, the 7 Yumas,
there's the 7 great Yumas.
Great Yumas, which are rainbow crystals in humans.
Yeah, that can transform humans into Yuma.
Into Yumas, and then you get the crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get all 7 rainbow crystals, you can acquire the silver crystal, which ultimately is the goal to the whole show.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you have to say about?
It's getting a little complicated.
Yeah, certainly.
The 7 great Yuma confused me because there was also the 4 great leaders thing that was introduced. Now, this episode clarifies that.
Yeah, that Zoisite and Nefrit and
I don't think Jadeite was one of the 4.
I don't think Jadeite was one of the 4. What is it? Dark Kingdom lords or whatever.
Yeah, whatever was.
Because he was just kind of lame. He was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So that means we've met 3.
So what I like though is that the Dark Kingdom has succeeded in a bit, and that they had enough like human energy to at least like partially awaken their true great leader.
Yeah.
Who was thus far nameless.
Yeah. And then we meet, so Usagi's running around, and she bumps into these
group of JoJo
thugs,
adventure-looking thugs.
Yeah, and then they just try and rob her because he's like, "You broke my leg." She didn't. She's tiny. She's 14.
Yeah.
She didn't break his leg. They're trying to, get some money out of her, rob her, blah blah blah. And then we meet this woman that saves her, whose name is Kino Makoto, and
she's strong.
She's strong, and she kicks these guys' butts, and then, she sees her at school, and Yumino comes up, and he's out of the bush, like, that pops up. We haven't seen him
in a while. Probably been about 6 episodes since we've seen Yumino, at least. Well, what are we, 25?
Yeah, 25, so a few episodes. And
probably 18.
And he's like, oh, yeah, that girl, Kino, whatever, just transferred into class 6. And she's like, what? And then she runs up, and he's like, no, she's bad news, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes and sits next to her, and she's like, everyone seems to think I'm crazy or blah, blah, blah. No one wants to talk to me, so I'm glad that you're here. And then he just goes like, oh, Usagi is a genius at making friends. Like, he shakes his head.
Yeah, I think that was cool.
Yeah.
This is a point I forgot to make last episode too, is that, like, despite all of what I realized that Usagi is a good unifying leader because she is she's an excellent friend at her core.
Yeah.
She's flawed in many other ways.
Yeah.
But she's an excellent friend. And,
exactly.
Yumino goes right out and says it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so then they kind of make friends, and she's, she has a really cute lunch. That's something about, and I think that's something about, I like a lot about Japanese culture versus Western cultures. That, I mean, what you're eating here is just kind of like,
this is
just a box of westernized Japanese food.
Just totally bastardized.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna use that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's
bastardized
fine.
Is okay.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit. Sorry, kids.
But then whereas it seems like they're really obsessed with like cute food or your lunchbox looking cute and your food all assorted very nicely and in a very aesthetically pleasing way. And she notices that, and she's like, "Wow, your mother's a great cook." And Kino's like, "No, I cook.
I cook this." So she's strong and independent.
Yeah. And then they go to the arcade together. They're friends now, and then we meet Crane Master Joe, who's just getting everything out of the what were those machines called?
I want to just point out that she. So when Usagi introduced Sailor Mercury and Sailor Mars Ray and Ami, she says, "Here, this is Ami. She's the smart one, and this is Ray. She's the nasty one." And
yeah.
Spat. I love that nasty one. I love that. That's the nasty one. I love it.
And then we meet Crane Master Joe at the arcade, who's just what are those?
Crane Master Joe.
Yeah, which I found that
one of
was
the
funny.
best titles of any character in the show thus far.
So what are those machines called that have all the stuffed toys?
Oh, that good Crane game.
Crane game.
Yeah.
And he's just getting everyone, and he gets the sailors out of there. Because obviously we established this in a previous episode that the sailors are known. The sailors are popular.
Yeah, they're known. Yeah, so there's a Sailor Mercury plush doll that he picks up.
Yeah, and Sailor V, or it might have been, and then he leaves, and then as he's leaving is when Zoizite comes down because he actually has one of the rainbow crystals. Yeah. He's one of the Yumas, and then Kino kind of beats off. I
traded there, buddy.
Oh yeah, I didn't. She fights off Zoizite, kind of like she does an okay job.
Before we established that she's one of the sailors, we established that she is one good fighter. She's a very capable fighter to the point where
because when she saved
she didn't need to transform to get a hit on Zoizite, which is really, really cool.
And I think it's part of her being just like a sailor. She's a great fighter and stuff, but she obviously doesn't know she's a sailor. So yeah, she gets a hit. Yeah, she hits him, but does not defeat him. Yeah, and then that's when she kind of follows Joe or whatever. She wants to protect him. That was kind of odd.
The human. Well, she was awestruck by him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was really into him
because he was reminded her of her senpai, which I believe this is the first time we've used those.
I just wrote senpai here because in the translation says senpai. I always thought it was senpai.
I don't know.
So gonna have to give that a Google.
I don't speak the language yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm working on it though.
And then Joe's rainbow crystal's acting up. He's like, oh, holding his chest, and then that's when we see Zoizite again, and that's when I guess Joe turns into a Yuma. Yeah, and he turns into this giant monster, and then sailors have to come. Yeah, kind of.
But so this is when Luna goes. I see it now. A big 4 pops up on what was her name? Kino.
Kino, yeah, it lights Kino's up on her head.
Yeah, and she's like, "You are." Throws her her magic wand.
Yeah,
and
and then she's like, "Luna's talking," because she just thought Luna was a cat before that, and she's like, "You are one of the sailor warriors." Yeah, and then she turns into Sailor Jupiter. Fantastic transition into Sailor Jupiter.
It was great.
Great transition.
Well, she seemed pretty ready to go. Like she was like,
she was ready to go. She's a great fighter.
A good fighter, right?
And she just seems mature and ready to go. And what was the name of her attack, or like when she becomes Sailor Jupiter? It was like whatever. But then we actually, so not only do we get a new sailor, but Sailor Moon Usagi gets a new kind of power. Like when Joe turns into a Yuma, there's still a human heart, so they can save him. They can get Joe back. And then Luna throws her a moon stick. It's called the moon stick, and now she can do moon healing escalation. Is the new
moon healing escalation, which basically will take humans that have been transformed into Yumas back into humans. Yeah. Her move was called Supreme Thunder. I'm just recalling now.
Supreme Thunder,
that was Sailor Jupiter's move is Supreme Thunder. So episode ends where like Motoki is seen in the arcade. Again, Motoki being the guy who works at the arcade, runs the arcade, that Usagi's got a bit of a crush on. And, Jupiter, Kino, seems to also think that this guy reminds her of an old senpai in his voice. And she's like, wait, you said that about the Crane Master yesterday. And she's like, yeah. And she's in girl in love mode is what they call it.
That's funny.
And Luna refers to her as a strange girl. And she seems to be a strange girl, but definitely like a dynamic character. A welcome addition to the Sailor Scouts, to the Sailor Senshi. The big motive of this new, like the 7 great Yuma, the Rainbow Crystals thing, it sounds a little like a little much to follow, but we'll see how it plays out. So at the end, did the bad guys end up getting the crystal or not? I was kind of
they did.
They did. Okay,
because they got the crystal, and then that's why Zoizite got out of there, but the human heart was still there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So. Yeah, Zoizite really reminds me of Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Pokemon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
to unite all evils within our nation.
I was
Jesse
never a big
James.
Pokemon.
No?
It was kind of a little after my time.
It's no Sailor Moon.
It's definitely after my time a bit, and it's no Sailor Moon.
Mm.
And
I think we could leave it at that.
Yeah.
This was a good episode. It wasn't as good as the last one, but it's
actually had something about Sonic.
The Master Gems thing, the rainbow crystals, kind of reminding me of the was it emeralds? The 7 great emeralds.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, kind of a comparison there, but nothing too huge.
No,
just big Sonic
it's just an interesting. Definitely a big Sonic fan here.
Yeah.
Big fan. But again, I'm starting to get more into the Sailor Moon, the Chaos Emeralds. That's
Chaos Emeralds. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we can leave it at that. Yeah, this was a great episode.
Yep.
It's exciting. It felt like a bit of a reset from the Nephri arc, which is nice. We're getting something that seems to be
fresh.
Maybe building up to a really epic grand conclusion, maybe where we,
Yeah, I mean, there's 40 episodes in this season, and we're past halfway, so we're getting going, and yeah.
Thanks for watching.